What is going on, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to Olsen Auto. Now if you're new to the channel and you haven't already and you like moto vlogs, working on dirt bikes and racing stupid cars, be sure to subscribe with that notification bell on. Woo. Damn it. So we are on my 2001 Suzuki DRZ400S today. I absolutely love this bike to death. Now, one thing I noticed when I went to ride it today, I did just check the oil. She is topped up in full, but one thing I noticed, first of all, it's really cold out. It's about to be dark out too. That clock is inaccurate. But anyway, the battery on this bike likes to die. If you guys watched my race car video, I did actually put a new battery in this bike. I paid like 85 bucks for it. The battery was mint. But the problem it seems like it seems like the battery has a draw somewhere, or there's a draw in the electrical because it's pulling from somewhere and the battery keeps dying. But yeah, I think there's a draw from somewhere, probably some shoddy wiring from the aftermarket blinkers, or I noticed the ignition is slightly askew from its normal position. Oh my gosh. It looks like we have to move that stick. Oh, I know we're gonna come across at least another one. I'm gonna come across another tree that's gonna absolutely doink me. I've never seen water in this turn before. I wonder what the river's gonna look like. Oh yeah. Well, I don't think I'm moving that one. Probably not going to be able to move this tree, guys, if I had to guess. Alright, so we're going to try another little trail. I forgot how slow this bike was. I think my rear tire... Damn! Gotta get a little wheelie practice in every now and then. I definitely need to practice standing this thing up on one wheel, because that's kind of what this bike is built for being honest. Thing is, a supermoto wheelie machine, so I gotta treat it like this supermoto wheel machine that this bad girl is. So yeah, there are a bunch of things that I actually dislike about this bike, believe it or not. I mean, assuming that the battery issue is just mine. I did also bend my bark buster one of the times I laid it down. I want to say my last video where I was in the snow, I laid it down and I think I bent the bark buster one of those times. Yeah, believe it or not, there are actually a few things that I dislike about the DRZ400. I know I talk very, very highly of it, but some of the things, like for starters, the weight of this bike, oh my gosh, this thing is heavy. Compared to my KTM, which weighs about 210 with a full tank of gas, this bike is 300 and I want to say 25 pounds dry. So yeah, this bike is an absolute tank. Now it's kind of nice to have that weight. It's great for the road because I can just throw this thing around. It's not too light to where it gets blown around by the wind. But in the woods, it's a little inefficient. This thing is an absolute brute of a bike to try and book to the woods. I guess, you know, compared to my CBR, it's considered pretty light, but this thing is still a very, very heavy bike. I mean, yeah, 300 pounds, my KTM is 200, there's a 100+ pound difference. I could put another person on the back of the KTM and still be lighter than this stupid bike. I mean, it's great. I guess the weight can be usable if you know what you're doing, but who said I knew what I was doing? I say, that's not my name.
$1 million follows, hope. That's not the same.
Oh, wow, that's slippery. Oh. Oh, it's so deep. Oh my gosh, that was so much deeper than I thought it would be. All right. Oh, I put my foot down right in the mud. Oh my gosh, it's just dripping. hate that stick being there. Let's give her the old. Sometimes you gotta let her eat, bub. Just gonna burn out on an ice block. Not sure where I want to go now. That trail's not gonna happen. That trail up there is pretty fun, but it's pretty bad even when it's dry out. Huh. We'll go left, and we're gonna keep talking about some reasons I don't like this bike, because there are a few. So yeah, like I mentioned last time, I dislike the weight of this bike. So another one of the big things that I dislike about this bike is the gearing. So yeah, I really don't like the gearing on this bike. Now, it's great for enduro, I'll give it that, which is surprising because this is the S model, and of course the S model is street legal, the E model is the enduro focus model. However, not having a sixth gear on these bikes is literally like the bane of their existence. Driving these things any long distance, you feel terrible because you're just wringing the thing out to do 60. I really don't like that. I really like kind of keeping my bikes in the low RPMs and treating them well. Now, of course, race bikes are a different story, but this isn't a race bike, in case you couldn't tell. So yeah, the gearing on this bike, a little bit less than ideal. It's not exactly what I want it to be. If there's a sixth gear on this bike, like right now we're at 50 miles an hour, I'd guess 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. It does not like the higher speeds at all, and then you get on a road like this where the speed limit is 50, and it's like, you're doing the speed limit. You don't really speed on a DRZ, not without ringing the thing out at least. I have gotten this bike up a little over 90. I've actually gone past the tire speed rating, which is a little funny, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to try and, you know, go. I mean, obviously it's a dirt bike, you're not supposed to be on the road that much, but it is a street legal dirt bike. I wish it had one extra. My battery just died, but I replaced it. So guys, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my GoPro's battery dying. The gearbox could be better. It's another thing I really don't like. So minus the fact that mine has its own battery issue. Now that could actually be an issue with the bike. I could be wrong. It could be something with the bike. I'm assuming it's something with the aftermarket turn signals from the previous owner or something like that. He did have aftermarket heated grips and an aftermarket GPS wired in, so there could still be remnants of that drawing power somewhere. I really do have to go through the bike, take a day, and just rectify whatever problem we have. So besides that, it's the weight, it's the gearbox. What else? Oh, here's a dumb one. See this dirt bike, right? Plastic, 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 metal. These bikes, all DRZ400s, whether it's a 2000 or a 2020, they all have metal gas tanks. Now, of course, you can get plastic oversized gas tanks. It changes the weight balance of the bike a little bit, brings the weight farther down low, which is beneficial for sure. It helps you keep that balance at low center of gravity. However, I shouldn't have to buy an aftermarket tank just to get a plastic one. The fact that it's a dirt bike in 2020 that comes with a metal freaking gas tank, that's super, super rare. Like a lot of my bikes, I had an older 125, and even that had a plastic tank. I had a 1993 YZ80, even that had a plastic tank. So why this 2001 has an all metal tank is beyond me, because now it can rust, it can rot, it can get dirty, it can dent. Plastic is the way to go for gas tanks. Everybody knows that, but for some reason Suzuki hasn't gotten the memo yet. Even though all of their other bikes have plastic tanks, so they could literally just rob one from the RM250 and be fine. But they chose not to, or I guess it'd be the RM450, but you guys get the idea. So yeah, some of the other things, I guess it's really slow on the road, it's heavy in the woods, it's got a metal gas tank. There's really not much that I dislike about this bike. It's dead reliable when you're riding it. It's super, super fun to ride. It pops the wheel up in first, second, and third. Third with the clutch, it'll do a second gear power up. It's just such a fun bike. It's a great time. I mean, they're a little expensive. I paid $2,800 for my bike, and that was what I would consider to be a screaming deal on one of these things. They usually go for like twice that in good condition. You really can't get one under 3K, so $2,800 was an absolute deal for this one. I still can't believe I got it that cheap. I was looking at others and they were like $3,500 to $4,000 depending on condition, and this one having only 5,200 miles, that's obviously in mint condition, so I have no complaints. All the damage that's been done to this bike was done by me, so it's not like I'm really all that scared about it. I know what the bike is like, and the guy I bought it from was also super chill. So yeah, those are some of the things I disliked. That was some fun off-roading, booking through a back road slash trail. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, more motovlogs, more dirt bike content, I'm going to be racing a lot in 2021. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Comment down below what you guys ride for dirt bikes. I want to see how many other riders I have on the channel. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.